Good morning, hi, and welcome back to Kids Church Online with me, Marcus. I hope that you guys had a really good end to the week and that you're now enjoying the start of the half-term holidays. This morning we're going to be carrying on with our series on kingdom living, and we're going to be looking again at what Jesus had to say to his followers about what living in God's kingdom looks like. But before we dive into that, let's have a look at what's coming up in today's session. We've got worship, we've got our Bible story, we've got our teaching time, a memory verse, some fun videos, somebody's story of how they became a friend with God, and lots more besides. So what are we waiting for? Let's get ready to worship!
Love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind and all your strength. Oh, love the Lord. Oh, love the Lord. Love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind and all your strength. Oh, love the Lord. Oh, love the Lord. This is what He is asking us to do. This is what He is asking me and you. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. That is why we sing. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. You are why we sing. God is love. Our God is love. God is love. Love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind and all your strength. Oh, love the Lord. Oh, love the Lord. Love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind and all your strength. Oh, love the Lord. Oh, love the Lord. This is what He is asking us to do. This is what He is asking me and you. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. That is why we sing. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. You are why we sing. This is what He is asking us to do. This is what He is asking me and you. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. That is why we sing. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. You are why we sing. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. That is why we sing. God, we love you. God, we love you. God, we love you. You are why we sing. God is love. Our God is love. God is love. Our God is love. God is love. Our God is love.
Well, today's Bible story comes from the book of Matthew. It's Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 to 3, and then Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 to 4. Let's have a look now at what it has to teach us about being part of God's kingdom.
Jesus started by explaining who would get blessings or favor from God. He said the most blessed people are those who are poor, sad, or humble.
Well, Jesus begins the Sermon on the Mount by telling the people listening something really important. That if they're really serious about being part of God's kingdom, there is one thing above all that they need. He says this in Matthew 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And that word blessed means literally well done. God says well done to people who are poor in spirit. What do you think poor in spirit means? Talk to the person next to you or the people you're with right now and see if you can come up with some ideas about what poor in spirit might mean.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are here.
Well, poor in spirit really just means to depend 100% on God, not to depend or trust in anything else to make us God's friends. And the New Living Translation puts it like this: God blesses or says, "Well done," to those people who only depend on Him. They belong to the kingdom of heaven. So right at the start, Jesus is saying to the people that if they want to be part of God's kingdom, they need to trust 100% in God alone. Well, here I have a bag that belongs to our family. I want you to imagine for a second that you're going to put some things in this bag to persuade Jesus to allow you to be friends with God. What would you put in this bag? Well, maybe you younger ones out there, you might put something in here like, I don't know, being kind to other people. Or perhaps your favourite toy, or your most loved teddy, or even your pet. Maybe you older ones, you might put in here your best quality, or the things that you've worked hardest at to achieve, your greatest successes or achievements. Well, let's have a look at what's really in the bag, shall we? Well, as you can see, there's absolutely nothing in this bag. It's completely empty. To be poor in spirit means that we know that we don't have anything to offer. And it means we don't need to pretend that we do have something that Jesus needs or wants in order for Him to rescue us. Because before Jesus, all of us are completely poor in spirit. Well, I wonder if you've ever done show and tell at school, where you've brought something in that's valuable to you and you've told people about it. Jesus was a big fan of show and tell, you might be surprised to hear. Whenever he taught something, he always went on to demonstrate it and to show people the truth of what he'd told them.
To spoil this beautiful day or anything, huh? Come on.
It's a leopard. Stay back. Cover your mouth. Don't breathe his air. Don't come any closer.
It's okay, John. It's okay.
Rabbi, you cannot. His disease. You.
Please. Please. Please don't turn away from me.
I won't.
Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Only if you want to, I submit to you. My sister, she was a servant at the wedding. She told me what you can do. I know you can heal me if you are willing.
I am willing. Be cleansed.
I know it. I know it. I know it. What can I ever do?
No. Do not say anything to anyone.
You don't seek your own honor.
Please just do me this one thing.
But what do I tell people?
Go. Show yourself to the priest. Let them inspect you and see that you are cleansed. Make the proper offering in the temple as Moses commanded. And go on your way. Who has an extra tunic? Just one of you, just one of you. That's enough. Green is definitely your color. Not too shabby.
So Jesus finishes the Sermon on the Mount and he comes down the mountain with his friends and with the crowds following after him. And who does he meet first of all? Somebody who's seriously sick. This man had leprosy, a disease that would have killed him if he didn't get help. And he's come to Jesus and he's put his complete trust in Jesus to heal him and take away the leprosy. And he says, Jesus, if you are willing, you can make me clean. And Jesus says, I am willing, be clean. And he completely heals him. And the crowds would have seen this happen and his friends have seen this happen. So Jesus has just shown them that only by fully trusting in him can people become part of his kingdom. And only by trusting in Jesus 100% to make him better did the man who had leprosy get healed. I bet he never had a problem trusting that Jesus was really God's promised king after that. So if we're not already, let's choose to start being people who only trust 100% in Jesus, who he is and what he's done for us, to allow us to be part of God's kingdom here on the earth, right now, and forever with God later on in heaven. I'd love to chat to God for us now as we finish our teaching time. Father God, thank you so much that you've said that we can be part of your kingdom. Help us to be those people who don't put our trust in anything else in order to join your kingdom, but only in Jesus, what he said and all he's done for us. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Memory verse, memory verse, memory verse, challenge. Memory verse, memory verse, memory verse, challenge.
Ah, yes, a memory verse challenge. Woo woo.
Our memory verse this week comes from the book of Proverbs. It's Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6. And it says this: Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Never rely on what you think you know. Remember the Lord in everything you do, and he will show you the right way. So print off that memory verse sheet, colour it in, get creative, and then try and learn it before next week. And perhaps you can test each other to see who can remember it the best in your family. Got that? Great.
When I was 5, I started going to kids' church. I had so much fun singing songs and learning how to be friends with God. And each week we would be given a sticker about Jesus. When I was 11, I was too old for kids' church and started going to church. But I didn't like it very much. We had to kneel for long times, sing and pray. Songs that were written a long time ago, not like today. One day my mum told me I didn't have to go anymore to church if I didn't want to. For a little time I was very happy about this, but I started being naughty at school and was asked to go to another school. Then I started spending time with people who were making bad choices, and I started to copy them because I wanted them to like me and be friends with me. but nothing seemed to make me happy. Then one day I heard someone talk about a famous singer who was also God's friend, and he was coming soon to a church very near to where I lived. He was going to share his story of being God's friend. And I thought I'd just go and hear him because I thought it would be fun. As he spoke to us, I realised that knowing Jesus was the answer to me wanting to be liked and loved by other people. So that night I said sorry to Jesus for all the wrong things I'd done. I thanked him for dying for me and asked him to sort things out so I could be best friends with God forever. As I chatted to him, Jesus filled me up with God's love and has been helping me ever since to follow him. Now, Jesus never said it would be easy, but what he did say is he will never ever leave us and always help us. Since I started being God's friend, I've found when I feel sad, he comforts me. When I mess up, he helps me start again. When I feel tired, he gives me the energy. And when I don't feel loved or cared about by anybody else, he never stops loving me, no matter what I do. That's a bit of my story, what it means to be friends with God. What is your story?
Things to know before you go. I'd like to say a continued thank you from us all here at St John's to everybody who is giving to the work of the food bank. You guys are helping to make a real amazing difference in the lives of people who need some extra help at this time. And if you're not already giving, can I encourage you to perhaps add a few extra items to your weekly shop, because what you give is really changing the lives of other people in our community. A continued huge thank you to everybody out there who's giving financially to the work of the church at this time. And if you're not already giving and you would like to take advantage of this opportunity, then I've got details of how to do that through our page at the end of this session. It's an amazing thing to think that by giving, we are helping other people to hear about God's love for them and to become his friends too. The last thing I need to say is that this coming week is half term, and I'm going to be taking a break from putting together sessions and assemblies and other things that I do online. So there won't be any Kids Church online next Sunday at the end of half term. Well, that's it for our session today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you've had lots of fun and that you've been encouraged and excited to learn more about what it means to be part of God's kingdom. I'll see you next at Kids Church Online on Sunday the 28th of February. Until then, may God bless you and protect you. Take care of yourselves and each other, and see you very soon. Goodbye.